Tell us how you met your partner. This is actually my favorite story to tell because I think it's kind of cute. We met on Tinder. However, it was my first swipe, right? And I was on Tinder for like 22 hours, maybe. And the only reason I joined Tinder is because my sister had joined Tinder and she was like talking to a couple of people and it was kind of fun. There was nothing to do. It was during Christmas time. So yeah, December in Lagos. So yeah, she just had a lot of funny stories to tell us. So I was like, me too, I want my own gist. So so I joined Tinder as well. And I wasn't there for long. And then it was like I joined in the morning and then in the evening, I was just swiping left because I was like, is this the pick of the town? Like I I wasn't really feeling the vibes. And honestly, I was kind of ready to give up because I was like, shouldn't there have been at least one right swipe by now? And then there was Shion, so I swiped right and yeah. His name is Shion. It will become relevant. I wanted to give him a shout out. Anyway, yeah, so that's how we met. Okay. Talk about your first date. Um, the first date flopped, actually. We were supposed to go and see a movie, but then I don't know what we were thinking. We went on, was it Boxing Day? Or no, it wasn't Boxing Day. It was the 3rd of January, actually. So it was still like holiday vibes. And then we went to go see a movie and we didn't see the movie because it was too crowded. So we went to ICM and then we went back to his house. I mean, okay, it was hectic because um the plan was to actually meet at ICM, but then we're just kind of excited. So I went to his house first. But I was also scared because I've never met him before. And I was going to his house and I was just messaging my sisters like, this is where I am. Like everyone had my location. I was like, if I type anything that is unintelligible, just call the police immediately. I'll start coming to where I am. So I was kind of nervous. And we had like talked about the first meeting for so long. There was all this pressure and anticipation. I was so worried. I was like, what if the vibes are different in person? Yeah. And I was also scared, like, what if he's a serial killer? But, I was like, if it's my time, it's my time. So we went there and then we left from his place to ICM. And yeah, that was just a mess. We ended up coming back and then we just chilled at his and we watched, I don't remember what we watched on Netflix and we ordered food and then I went home. And then we had like a proper first date like 2 days later where we went to some barbecue place. So that was fun. How was your first how how was your first kiss? um Girl, I don't know. It was
when I smell like
shut up. Um it was interesting and it was good because I that was my like first proper like kiss ever. Yeah, in my life. So I didn't really know what to expect. And he was aware, like I was like, I've never kissed anybody. And he was like before we met, we're kind of just talking about everything. Like I was like, I'm kind of nervous, like I don't know. And so yeah, it was pretty good. I was Yeah, my mind was blown a bit, but it was the first day we met. So like we barely even like made it inside the compound. It was very cute. We kind of just hugged like, hi. And then, yeah, just went in for the kiss. It was good. It was good. It was good. That first day was actually pretty interesting because, like, when we were talking, everything happened very quickly. We were talking for like about a month, so like the whole month of December, and we couldn't see each other because he had traveled. He had gone home for Christmas. Home is not in Lagos State, so so yeah. There was a lot of anticipation, so it was intense, but it was cute. Um, when did your partner go abroad? So September, like end of September. So it's been like 8 months apart. Terrible vibes. Do not recommend. We've been together. Okay, so we've been together a total of 16 months. So basically half the time we've spent together in person, and then the other half in long distance. And yeah, it's been long distance has been stressful. I remember the last time I saw him before he left. Girl, sorrows. sorrows, prayers. Because yeah, I cried so much. He was living in his cousin's house. So the last day I went there, I was basically just like crying the whole time. And then his cousin kept like knocking on the door, like, is everything okay? Because I was really like wailing and pouring my heart out. It was really sad. It was really, really sad. I know me about to cry. Ew. Oh my God.
Do you miss him?
Girl. Why would I be about to cry if I didn't miss him? I miss him like, yeah, I miss him a lot. I don't want to cry. How did you feel it might affect your relationship? I don't know. Honestly, I really didn't know what to expect. I had a lot of worries, obviously. I was worried that we might grow apart. Because I mean, when you can't like spend physical time together, things can go either way. And he was going to school as well, so there's the added like um responsibility. Like he has other things to worry about. Not like he didn't have any responsibility while he was here. He had a job, but he worked from home, so it was really easy. And I would be there while he was working to still keep him company. So that was still like spending time together. But when you're in school and you're also like several miles away, it's kind of, yeah. So I was just worried we might grow apart, or we might not talk as much, or he might be too busy. Girl.
Stop. It's okay, you're allowed to cry.
Jeez.
Tissue, please.
No, I'm not gonna cry.
How do you like now?
I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm actually very grateful for how the relationship has progressed. I think we have gotten like closer because the distance like forces you to really talk about things and not just like, because like I don't know, like in person when you have issues you might just like kiss and forget about it and not like really get into the nitty-gritty of what's going on. But when like you can't even be there, like you can't soothe the situation with like physical touch and, you know, puppy dog eyes or whatever. We have to really talk about things. So yeah, like communication has been very important for us, and I've also learned a lot about myself. I really thought I was God's gift to mankind, honestly, before this relationship. I thought I'm perfect. Everybody has to live up to my standard. I am the standard. I know what I'm doing, and everybody else like just learn from me. But then I've been like learning a lot about myself as well. So it's been good for me, at least. I think it's been good for him too, but overall it's been an experience. Let's
So
put it
what's
that
our
way.
love languages now and how they like?
Okay, so his love language is physical touch. So he's going through a lot. Mine has always been like words of affirmation and acts of service. And as a big words of affirmation girly, I do like to be told that I'm doing a good job, that I'm fantastic, I'm appreciated, all those like fun stuff. So and he's always been good at that. So there hasn't actually been any issues there, even before like we met in person. That was like one of the major forms of attraction. Actually, was just so open. Like I've never been with any male figure that was super expressive. I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And yeah, he was just super expressive about how he feels. Like I never have to question, doubts. Like I always know. So yeah, that's good. And acts of service, like he's really thoughtful. So he's not one of those people that think like, yeah, because we're not physically together, he can't do acts of service. There, like he's been very creative, and yeah, I'm happy with that. But yeah, he's stressed out because physical touch is his like top love language. But obviously, everyone would appreciate all the love languages, but in varying degrees. So he's had to adjust in that way. Yeah. Um, Before this, have you ever been in a long distance relationship? Before this, I've never been in any relationship. So let's start there. So yeah, I've never been in any relationship before this. This is my first. Well, I don't count anything prior to 13 years old. As we all, yeah. So yeah, this is my first relationship. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't even know like this whole thing happened in a very like whirlwind romance type of way. Like I wasn't even expecting it, and I didn't expect to be in any type of relationship. I wasn't looking. I was not interested actually in a relationship. I was just like I've never even been in any like situationship. I've never like vibed with anybody in that way. Like I keep myself to myself. Most of the male people I've encountered have been disappointing, to be honest. Like men don't really impress me. So I've never like yeah, I never really desired to be in any kind of entanglement with anybody, honestly. So that's why it all took me by surprise, and I didn't expect to fall in love. Let alone from Tinder of all places. So yeah, took me by surprise. Um, what do you do to make it work? Honestly, it really just works on its own, to be honest. I think we are matched in a very special way. Like we really get each other. So it's not hard to consider the other person's feelings, to be communicative, to be thoughtful, to be gentle, to be kind. It's not difficult. Um, we are good for each other, I think. So it kind of just works itself out. And that's not to say that like we don't have challenges or there aren't things that might be difficult sometimes, but we're really able to talk about things most of the time. He's a much better communicator than me. And I thought I was the best at communicating. But I find it difficult sometimes to um, say exactly how I feel because I don't want to hurt the other person's feelings, especially when they've offended me and I want to say how they've offended me. I don't want to say it in a way that is like accusatory, like you did this, or you always do this. But I also want to be able to express exactly how I feel. So I overthink it a lot in my mind so that I end up just not saying anything. And then I'll be like, okay, I think I understand where they're coming from. I'll just deal with it by myself. But then obviously we're human beings. So the more you keep things in, the more likely it is to come out in a way that you don't want. So I do be keeping things in sometimes. And he knows me well enough to know like when I'm bothered by something. And he's like, can you just like there's no way I'm gonna be mad at you for expressing how you feel about something. So yeah, I've tried to understand and like learn from him in that way. And he doesn't keep anything to himself. Like literally an open book. He's always there are things that he even tells me that I'm like personally, I wouldn't have shared that. But I really appreciate it because I get to know his character in that way. Like I know things about him that take a long time to know about someone, but because he's so expressive and he just says how he feels. So yeah, he's good in that way. How do you keep the love alive? um the love is just I don't know. The love is alive and well. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. Okay, let me think about this question for a bit. How do I keep the love alive? Um, we're very. If anyone could read our messages, we would die of embarrassment because it's very like very expressive, very cringe, honestly. And I think that's the way we keep the love alive. We are very, very expressive. Like there isn't any language that we haven't used to describe how we feel about each other. So when you are constantly getting like Bridgerton vibes, declarations, I mean, that's how you keep the love alive, honestly. There's just an understanding. And we talk about everything. We talk about a lot, actually. A lot of things, personal things, just things to do with society, how we feel about certain things, beliefs, morals, like literally everything. So there are ways that I have grown to love him that I could not have predicted or like imagined, because when you think about like how you envision romance, like you think about like things you see in movies, like the big stuff, someone that is patient, kind, blah blah blah. But then like there's other things about the way they see you or the way they like think about other people or the way they handle difficult situations that builds or like it just shows like a different side to the person that you never thought you would see, and like you just feel your heart growing. And yeah, it's yeah, so he surprises me a lot um in yeah, he just surprises me, and I think I surprise him too. So yeah, we always keep each other on each other's toes. So that's how we keep the love alive, by talking, by making sure the other person knows exactly how we feel all the time, like all day, every day. Yeah. Um, do you think the long distance relationship works because you are who you are and your partner is who he is? 100%. I don't know how it would have worked with any other person, and I don't know how it would have worked if I was any other person. So the way that we are able to manage this situation is definitely because of the type of person he is and the type of person I am. He's, like I said before, he's very open and very communicative. There's like literally nothing we don't talk about. So if he wasn't someone, if he was even a little bit more like me, it probably wouldn't have worked out because, like I said, I am the type of person to keep things in and maybe like bring it up later and really intellectualize my conversations. I'm like, if I have a problem, I like to think about it and be like, okay, this is how I'm going to like approach the situation. Agenda 1, 2, 3, 4. And like he's kind of more just like he just goes with the flow, he's freer. And he just talks about like he brings things up instantly. So that's something I'm learning from him. And yeah, if he was like me, we'll just be having like very formal conversations. And like if one of us has upset the other, we'll be like, hello, good evening. How was your day? Good, fine. And that'll be the end of the conversation because when I'm upset, that's how I handle things. So, but he's more like, yeah, he just like talks more. And yeah. What will the next 3 years look like for you and him? 3 years. What year are we in? 2023. It's 2026.
Marriage.
Girl, I want to be married. Do you know how wild that is for me to say? Like, if you know me, you would know that my desire to get married is completely foreign, alien even. Like, anybody that knows me is like, girl, my mom has been telling me, even like before now, she would like say stuff like, can't wait for you guys to find the right man. But I'm like, girl, you're gonna have to wait. Because I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But yeah, like for me to actually be desiring marriage, it's crazy. I don't know how we got here. Honestly, I don't know who this is. I don't know what happened. But here we are. Yeah, even if I don't know, like I just want to be in the same place, Sha. I want to be in the same place and like spend time with him and just like live life together, even if it's not in a marriage situation. I just want to spend time with him and just be there together all the time.
Okay, send a message to him.
Oh my god.
Okay, keep shout out. You're actually really in love. Oh my god, you've blushed like 10 times.
Girl, I'm trying my best to keep it together. But shout out to you, boo. Yeah, I don't know what to say right now because I feel very put on the spot and this is awkward. But yeah, I mean, you know what it is. You know what it is.